This is the tram that took us around the Fruit and Spice Park.
Please tell me now so I can try to fix them. Just raise your hand if it's a... Okay, good. Thumbs up, good. So the park is about 40 acres. We're going to try to explore all of this park and show you all the different fruits from all around the world. Right now we're in the winter season, so there's not as much of the big, massive fruit, but there's so many different edible vegetables and berries, and around you have tons of edible things that most people don't ever recognize. So we're going to be focusing a lot on that and try to get to try as much stuff as possible. So the first area we're going to go into is called our Tropical America area. There's another area called the Africa section. We have an Australian section and an Asian section in this park. So our Tropical America section starts off with our edible bananas. We have about 60 different types of edible bananas in the park. You can see the bananas are pointing downward. That's a sign that the bananas are going to be edible. If you ever see a banana tree with the banana flower pointing upward, that means it's going to be non-edible or just a decorative banana. And we'll see a few of those up ahead. You saw in the store, we actually harvested a bunch of bananas recently, so on your way through there, you're welcome to try a bunch of different bananas. Up ahead on the right, we have our jaboticaba bush from Brazil. So the jaboticaba will make this purple grape that tastes kind of like a blueberry and a grape mixed together. And they're very popular in Brazil. They're as popular as grapes are here in the US. Up ahead on the left, we have our Monstera deliciosa. Monstera deliciosa gets its name because it is delicious, but if you eat it at the wrong time, it is a monster. It has a very fiberglass-like texture in your mouth. But if you eat it when it's fully ripe, it tastes like a banana and a pineapple. Now on the left as well, we have our Lignum vitae with those green pods on it. Lignum vitae is one of the densest types of wood that exists in the world. You can use it to make boat propellers, or you can make bowling balls with it. It's like a metal that grows on a tree. So it's so dense that if you take a section of it and put it in water, it will sink to the bottom like a rock. And it has a beautiful yellow grain to it, so it's prized by wood turners to make some interesting furniture and pens. Now we're heading into the Tropical America greenhouse. Up ahead on the left we have our cacao. Cacao is where you get your chocolate from. You can see some cacao pods forming at the base there. On the right we have a sign for zapote. The zapote is an Aztec word that means soft, sweet fruit, and there's many different types of zapotes. Like the tree behind the sign is a sapodilla, a type of zapote that tastes like brown sugar on a pear. There's also this tree that's propped up by the 4x4, which is a mamey zapote. And then up ahead on the right we have our olasapo. Olasapo in Spanish means toad skin, and the fruit looks like green lumpy toad. When you open it up, it tastes like butterscotch candy with an aftertaste of rum. Up ahead on the left we have the sun sapote. When the sun sapote fully ripens, it tastes kind of like canned pumpkin. It's very delicious, and they use it to make imitation pumpkin shapes. Now up ahead on the right we have what's called the Merceria vexator. So this is going to be our first stop for fruit today. You want to find one that's nice and dark purple, and you pop it open and you eat the flesh around the seed and up to the skin. So this is the Merceria vexator. It's a little bit sweet and a little bit sour. And we have an Anderson mango tree on the right. They produce the biggest mangoes we have in the park. They grow to about the size of an American football. They become massive mangoes. On the left, you can see those little red pods all over that tree. That is called a bixa or note or chote. And it's used as food coloring to color rice. The seeds on the inside are non-toxic, but they'll make a nice bright red color to them.
Here's number 12.
Up ahead on the right, we have our hot plum, also known as ciruela. It'll make yellow plums where you can eat around the pit. On the left, we have some more edible bananas, and you can see some ornamental bananas coming up on the left. The ornamental bananas, you can see the flower points upward. That means they're non-edible, just ornamental. Up ahead on the left, we have our prickly pear cactus. So the pads of the cactus can be grilled and eaten as a vegetable, and the fruit is called the tuna fruit. On the right, we have some different types of guava, the Cas guava. On the left, we also have what's called a casa banana. You can see the red fruit hanging down. That's actually a vine that's growing on that tree. It's not actually the tree itself. So the casa banana, the fruit, tastes kind of like a cantaloupe. You can cut it open and eat it. The tree that it's on is called an ice cream bean tree. And the ice cream bean tree will make little pods that taste like ice cream on the inside. And it even feels cold on the inside, colder than it is on the outside. So that's the ice cream bean tree. It's actually very delicious, and a lot of people like to grow it for the fruit, but it's also an amazing shade tree. Doing a little off-road so I can show you the candle fruit up ahead on the right. The candle fruit, the fruit falls down and it sticks up in the ground like a candle. It's not very delicious. It's considered a famine food because you would only eat it if you had nothing else to eat. So a lot of times it's fed to horses and cows. It's very fibrous. It tastes kind of like sour and sweet celery at the same time. It's not a favorite flavor for a lot of people, but some people enjoy it. If you find one that's just right, you might find one without bugs in it, but most of the time the bugs get into them,
That's nice.
and then you don't even want to try it at all. So that was us finishing our Tropical America section. In here we have a mix of sections. Like on the right, we have our longan trees. They're originally from China, and the word longan in China means dragon's eyeball, because the fruit, when you open it up, it looks like an eyeball. You can eat the clear see-through flesh around the hard seed on the inside. It's very similar to a lychee. On the left, we have our different types of citruses. Things like pomelo, grapefruit, key limes, oranges. That is our citrus section on the left. And then we're going to be heading into our African section. Like up ahead on the right is a white sapote. White sapote, when it fully ripens, it tastes creamy, like pure sugar. But it's actually a citrus relative.
It sounds like Elliot's test.
And when we go into the Africa section, you can see the African sausage fruit hanging down. The sausages are not edible raw, but the sap on the inside can act like a liquid bandage that kills bacteria and prevents infection. We also have some African oil palms on the right side. So the African oil palms, the seeds can be used to make palm oil as well. On the left with all these little red fruits, this is called ackee. It's originally from Africa, but it's very commonly found in Jamaica. It's actually so common in Jamaica that it has become the national fruit of Jamaica. It is extremely poisonous. If you eat it the wrong way, it can kill you in 6 to 7 hours. It's a very, very dangerous fruit. But if you cook and prepare it in just the right part of it and just when it's ripe enough, it's very delicious and it's a very popular dish in Jamaica. They usually eat it with saltfish and ackee and breadfruit. It's usually like a breakfast dish because it kind of tastes like spicy scrambled eggs. Now on the right we have what's called the gingerbread palm. The gingerbread palm, the seeds on the inside are vegetable ivory and they can be used in the same way as animal ivory. They're quite difficult to get out, but you have quite a lot of them on any given tree. We have a ton of different things we've made out of them in the store. So if you want to see some vegetable ivory, you can see it in the store. It works the same way as animal ivory. Up ahead on the right, we have our baobab trees. So the baobab trees are the widest type of tree that exists in the world. Those trees over on the right there are only about 30 years old, and they can get over 2,000 years old and as big as half a football field. They're massive trees when they fully grow. They're hollow in the inside and filled with water, so you can drink the water straight out of the tree. The bark can be used to make rope, and the flower can be used to make an herbal tea. Up ahead on the left, we have our Moringa oleifera. Moringa is an extremely healthy tree. Eating the leaves on it is supposed to have tons of medical benefits. There's hundreds of studies going out from scientists about the benefits of the moringa tree. 18 amino acids, 9 of the essential ones, making it a complete protein. It's used in protein shakes and vitamin supplements. It's just extremely healthy for you, and it's very easy to grow. So if you want, you can try to get some seeds from it, from underneath the tree, and you can take those home with you and grow your own moringa tree. Up ahead, we're going through our African section. So our African tamarins. So the African tamarins, they are sweeter than the tropical America ones. The leaves are used in cooking. They kind of have the taste like a sour lemon peel. On the left we have the Marula plum. The Marula plum is famous for the liquor, Amarula liqueur, that's made from it. It has a picture of a drunken elephant on it, and that's because of the stories of elephants getting drunk off the fermented fruit. Now no one really knows if those stories are true or not. Scientists kind of disagree with the idea that elephants can get drunk, but you can find videos online of animals eating the Marula plum and starting to act a little funny afterwards. So it very well may be that animals are getting drunk off the Marula plum. Up ahead on the left, we have our avocado section. We have about 60 different types of avocados in the park. So the avocados are different with flavor depending on the different types. Some, like the Mexicola avocado, have black skin on them. Some of them have skin that's so thin you can just bite it without even peeling it. Now up ahead on the right, we have our Australian section. So this is the rainbow eucalyptus tree from Australia on the right. On the ground we have the finger limes. You can see those little small trees on what are called finger limes. They make very small limes that are about the size and the shape of a human finger. Also on the right here we have our regular eucalyptus tree. So the regular eucalyptus tree, the leaves are poisonous to most animals, but koalas have adapted to allow themselves to eat it. And that's pretty much what the eucalyptus tree is known for, the koalas that eat it. Up ahead on the right, we have our macadamia nut. The macadamia nut is prized by woodturners for its wood and its dark green, and of course its nut that's edible. A lot of times our squirrels get to them before we ever get a chance to, but every now and then we get a macadamia nut that we get to cut up and serve. Up ahead on the left we have the pandanus. Pandanus is nicknamed the walking pine, and it looks like it has little legs growing out from it. That's why it gets its nickname. The fruit like a pine cone, and the yellow sections can be eaten off of it, and it tastes very sour, like sour pineapple. Up ahead on the right, we have our giant anti-desmat. I'm sure there's probably some more on this tree here, so we're going to stop and try to get some giant anti-desmat. You eat around the seed of our coconut section. The green and yellow coconuts are the younger coconuts that have the water on the inside. So those are the ones that if you were stranded on an island and you needed coconut water to survive, you grab one of the green or yellow ones and you throw it against a rock, and it will actually pop right open. That's because they're not developed, meaning their shell is actually very soft. So you can smash it against a hard rock and you can pop those things open. Now a brown coconut is much more difficult to open because it's so hard and developed that you would need to have a tool, a knife, or something, and you would sit there peeling it, and it would probably take you, an experienced person, it could take 15 minutes. For someone that doesn't know what they're doing, it could take an hour or 2 hours to open up a single coconut. Now the brown coconuts have some benefits to them, but usually those benefits are good for people in civilized society. You can use it to make shampoo, conditioner. There's all sorts of different cool products made from coconut oil, and that's only from the brown developed coconuts. Coconut oil is also used in a lot of different types of medicines, both oral and external medicines. And there's even eye cream made with coconut oil. Now coconut oil is also good for cooking, it's good for your health, it's a very, very healthy type of oil to use. Now up ahead we are going through our mango section. We have 185 different types of mangoes in the park. Now, that's quite unique because the mangoes, each of them taste a little bit different. Now, when you get from one side to the other, some people say they taste like completely different fruit. Mangoes from Asia taste completely different from mangoes from tropical America. They even have different after flavors, and they have different seed structure. So if you are growing a mango tree, the different types of mangoes grow a different way than other types. Not many fruits like that. Most of the time, if you have a fruit, you would grow it the same way no matter what type of fruit it is, no matter what version of that fruit. But mangoes, they are almost completely different plants if you have a different type of mango. Now that does mean that if you've ever tried mango and you didn't like it, there's probably a mango out there that you would like, because they're so different. There's some of them that are starchy like potatoes, some of them that are amazingly sweet like a piece of candy, some of them that are like the lemon meringue mango that are sour like a lemon. So there's a mango for literally everyone out there, depending on what type you're looking for. Unless you're allergic. There are a lot of people that are allergic to mangoes because mangoes are related and in the same family as poison ivy. Up ahead, we are going through our Asian greenhouse. On the right, you can see the elephant ear plants that look like elephant ears. You can also see some beautiful ornamental ginger on the right. Those flowers that you see out there. A lot of the plants in here are different types of ornamental versions of plants we've seen before. Like these banana trees are ornamental banana trees, and they're like beautiful purple bananas. But they're not edible, they're just for decoration. That vine there that's running up the tree is a vanilla vine. So that's where you get your vanilla extract on the right. The tree that it's running up is called a breadfruit tree. So the breadfruit makes a fruit that's kind of like the jackfruit. Once it gets moldy on the outside, you open it up and you can eat the inside, and it's quite delicious. Up ahead on the right, we have different types of seasonings. Things like patchouli used in perfume. We also have kaffir lime used in fancy restaurants instead of lemons. And then we have our allspice, lemon allspice and regular allspice. Very commonly used in cooking. You can also see some papayas on the right side there. Those Asian papayas have grown so big that we had to tie some bamboo to it to keep it from falling down. Now on the right there we have some more ornamental ginger. It looks like a little sloth hanging off of one of them. I don't know where that little buddy came from. Someone must have put him there after the tour. Yesterday we had a festival, so we might find some little knickknacks hidden all around the park. Up ahead on the right, we have some black pepper. So you can see the little stalks that are coming up from it. They look like little inchworms. That's where the black pepper kernels will grow from. Also on the right here, we have our true cinnamon tree. So the true cinnamon you use the bark to make cinnamon. And you can even taste the stem of a leaf actually tastes like a Fireball candy. Up ahead on the right, we have what's called the mountain persimmon. That big bush there with the green fruit. When the fruit turns yellow, that's when it's edible, but it's definitely considered a famine food. When it's fully ripe, it tastes kind of like diesel fuel. So it's not the best flavor in the world, but it's something to eat if you had nothing else. Also on the right, we have our dragon fruit vine. The dragon fruit makes a purple fruit that on the inside you can eat the ripe flesh, and it tastes kind of like a kiwi mixed with a lychee almost. It's hard to describe the flavor, but it is quite delicious. On the right we have some dwarf sapodilla, and on the left we have some jujubes. So I'm going to look on the ground and see if I can find some jujubes. The jujubes kind of taste like a green apple, but with a little less flavor. So hopefully they're not going to be as delicious as an actual apple, but it has a lot of vitamins and minerals in it. Ahead on the right we have some mangroves. So the mangroves are why we even have an Everglades. It allows for a completely different atmosphere of animals that like and live in the mud. So that creates a completely different ecosystem than the ocean or land-dwelling animals. It makes it in between. And the Everglades is very unique. Florida is one of the few places in the world that can support that type of life. So Louisiana and Florida, those swamp bayous are usually created by mangroves. So we're going to be parking underneath a tree called the Guyana chestnut. So this massive tree here with all the shade, it's a great shade tree, and that's what it's mainly planted for. It's a fast-growing shade tree, and it'll make beautiful flowers off of it. So the beautiful flowers will pop up every now and then. You'll also see there's a bunch of big brown pods hanging in there. So the brown pods, the seeds on the inside are technically edible, but you wouldn't eat them raw. You would have to cook them down, and even then they are famine food. You would only eat them if you had nothing else to eat. And then the last tree we're going to talk about is the jackfruit, the sign that was standing next to us at the beginning of the tour. The jackfruit, and all those trees on the left there are different types of fruit, different types of jackfruit. The jackfruit is the largest edible fruit in the world. So it can weigh 50 to 100 pounds on average. The biggest jackfruit ever found was almost 250 pounds. So it's a massive fruit. The fruit on the inside kind of tastes like juicy fruit gum, and it can be cooked down and made into many different things like imitation pulled pork. It can also be made into, the seeds can be cooked up and eaten as little mini potatoes. So good for protein, good for vitamins, but good for minerals. So if you guys have any questions, I'll be around a little bit to answer some of your questions.